Okay, so part of getting her ready for startup is that oil change. So I got everything I needed. So let's work on getting her jacked up so that I can get to the oil. I do have jack stands set up. I'm not going to just trust this jack because I've almost fell victim to that a couple of times. This car's almost killed me twice. But, with fears of it coming down. So, got to be really careful with that. Okay. I'm going to go get the jack stands now. Just a little higher. We'll just bring it down gently. We're not trying to put all the weight on the jack stands. The jack is still going to be holding weight. I just wanted 3 points of contact. Come on. Give it a good test. We want to make sure it's good and sturdy. It's perfect. Now we can get underneath there and do the oil. Okay. So I'm here. Sorry about there's just not much space underneath here. But I've got my 9/16 wrench. We're going to drop this oil. And I don't even have to guess about how bad it is. I know. So. Oh, there we go. Now we're past the tension. We can just. What I try to do is, you get it all the way out, kind of holding it in with your finger, and then when you know you're loose, just boom. Yeah, that's all kinds of water and nastiness in my engine. We're gonna let that drain for a moment. While I come around to the other side to get the oil filter. And for the oil filter, I'm just using a regular strap wrench here. I don't know if I have a filter wrench this size, so this is what I usually use. Here we go. Just once you break it loose, she should just come right on out. Okay. There we go. Now, make sure you slide your drip pan over. Okay, now, and this is going to make a mess out of my exhaust. This is the part I hate most. Okay, I'm just going to let that drain for a little bit. Then we'll get the plug in, and I'll get her down, and then we'll finish off the last thing, and then we can start this baby. But I'm going to let this drain for a while, and then I'll just probably just get the plug and the new filter on off camera, and then we can get up on top, put new oil in, get that heater hose done, and then we can start her up. All right, so I've gotten the new filter on. I let that oil pan drain for a long time. It was pretty nasty. So I even took lunch and let it drain. That's how long I let it drain. So now I'm gonna get it dropped down, and then we'll get the new oil in it, get that water pump hose done, and we're ready to start this baby. And yes, this ground is kind of rocky and dirty and stuff, so I am wearing knee pads because I found it's brutal trying to get up and down on this ground. Oh. Make sure you always use jack stands. Come on. Getting time to lube that up too. There we go. All right. She's back on 4 legs. So let me get this jack and stuff put away. We'll get some oil put in. See if we get her started up today. So I've gotten her back down on the ground and we're ready to just add the oil. I've got my funnel set up so I don't splash oil all over my engine. I'm going to start with 4 quarts. See what that gets us. I'm sure it's probably something like 4.5 quarts. Drippy. Okay. I want to clean that dipstick off too before everything gets settled on it. Just want to make sure my dipstick's clean. Yeah. All right. I'm just going to look underneath real quick, make sure I'm not pouring oil out of the bottom of my engine. I am not? Okay. Just going to let that sit for a minute. And while that's going on, loosen. While I'm at it, I can get that plug out of the water pump because we need to run this hose. And I've bought a barb for it. So, come on. Okay, I guess that'll wait for a minute. I don't mind going a little past full because you got to figure some for the filter too. Whoever planned that didn't plan that all. So yeah, I'm right at full. I'm just gonna add like 1/2 quart to account for that filter, and the oil is changed. Looks about right. Cap your oil, always. We'll pull out the funnel, nice and clean. Oil cap. And boom, her oil is changed. All right, I'm gonna work on getting that water pump bypass out, and I'll get that going. So, I finally got that thing. I had to use a long bar to get some leverage on it, but it's finally loose. So I can get this plug out, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a good shot of it. Something like that, I guess. I don't want to wiggle the camera too much on you. There we go, you can kind of see where I'm going here. It's just on the top of this water pump. Okay, so here's the plug that I pulled out. Okay. Here's the plug I'm putting in. It's got the receiver for this, or the male end for this. So I've already put plenty of Teflon on it. Make sure you seal this. And I realized in my prep for doing this video, I forgot to see what size this fitting is. So I may leave you for a second while I go find that. Okay. I will be right back. When you can, just an old-fashioned adjustable wrench does the job. That's in there. Okay. Now we're going to take our screwdriver. We're going to loosen up the clamp down at the intake here. We're just going to spin the hose. And we're going to come underneath this fuel line here. That may be an issue. I may have to get me a longer hose. So I'll be back. I'm going to have to get another hose because it's kinking right here. And that's not going to let water flow. So I do have plenty of hose. So I'll be back. I'll try to find some. I'll be back when I get some. Thank you. So luckily, without too much trouble, I was able to find a section that works perfect. So we're going to stick this on here. It was a piece that already had a bend in it, so there's very little bending here. That should let, and the hose is just a little bit bigger, so it should allow plenty of flow. So I've already gone ahead and set this up with clamps to make it easier. So now I can tighten this one down. one. Make sure you're getting the hook on that barb when you tighten these down so you don't get a leak. Sometimes this is where being left-handed really sucks. A little more turn, a little bit more, a little bit more. All right, that should do it. Okay. So there we go. This hose now comes down into the water pump. Oh, I'm getting a bad view, I'm sorry. Down into the water pump. And if you ever need to do this, this is what you need. It is a 5/8 by 1/2 inch NTP times 1 1/2. So, all right, next video, we've gotten everything done. So next video, we're going to be starting it up. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for following me. And next time, we're going to have a little bit of fun.